Well, hello, this is Madeline from Madeline's Craft Room, and I have something very sweet to share with you tonight. I have the sweet gingerbread, and we're going to look at a few really cool ideas that I have had by using this special stamp set and bundle. So, yes, this is Madeline, and I am from Parksville, Vancouver Island, BC. And I'm hoping that you can catch me either live or if you're watching me later on the replay. Hopefully, you get inspired with this special bundle. I know this is one that caught my eye right at the very beginning. And it will be one that I definitely will be keeping because our family tradition is making gingerbread houses, so can't be better for us. So, if you are joining me live, be sure to put your name in the comments so that I know that you're there and I can enter you in the draw. And if you give StreamYard permission to um, then you can I can see your comments. Otherwise, you have to put your name because otherwise I don't know who is joining me. So, anyway, with that, we're going to get right away into this. And I'm going to show you this wonderful bundle. So, this is the stamp set. And I love ones that are build it sets. And this is one that you definitely can build with the windows and the door and the roof and all kinds of decorations. And we're going to do some of that tonight. It's Vicky. Hello. There we go. And Marcia. Hello there. Glad you could join us. So this here, of course, is the stamp set. Now I have most of them already on blocks. As you can see, they're well used already. Well loved. And then these are the dies that come with it. And again, I love the variety that they have with it. If I can pick it up. This here is the piece that you can do the detail on the roof, but you can also stamp it. So they give you lots and lots of different options. I love it that they've given us two trees that we can use. And the cloud, again, that you can stamp or you can use the die cut. Lots of different windows and doors. And of course, look at all the candies that they give you. And then there's this beautiful one that you can see. We'll see some examples using this landscape. And then they have some here too. This one is like, I believe, kind of like a candy path. And I believe I've done one like that. We will have a look at that. And I love it how they have a heart or a wreath that we can also decorate. And then this is the big draw to this one is this amazing die because it makes the cutest little gingerbread fence. The detail, let's close this up so you can see, the detail that is on that fence is just amazing. There's Deb and Yvonne and Jenny. So glad you guys could join us. That's great. So, yes, this here is my favorite, of course, other than, of course, the gingerbread. And I've made many different cards, but tonight I'm going to show you some of what I did in a recipe book, which I did a class on. And this particular one, of course, I've used the spirals so that we have a recipe book that we can flip and access family recipes. So here again, I want to just kind of keep with the gingerbread color on this one. But again, you can see how this beautiful fence goes in here and it looks so wonderful. And then I've just done a few. Okay, so yes, so here's the one where I used that die and I cut it out to make it look like the stepping stones into the gingerbread house. And you can see I also, let's see, you can see I used Wink Estella. I think you can see it there. And then, of course, just some trees. And look at this beautiful stamp that does this. Oops, can't see this detail here. It is beautiful. So this was another page. And of course, the idea is that then you put the recipe up here and Then we keep moving on. Then there's this one. I wanted to kind of make it look like a bubble, but I still put some trees off to the side because, of course, it goes all the way across. So we have that page. You like that? Well, yes. And this one I'm making for my son in Alberta, and so I wanted to make it special. So yes, I put in a fair bit of detail, but the nice thing is you don't have to. You can make it as simple or detailed as you want. And then this particular one here, I've used the several houses, and you can see how I've used the landscape as well, which looks really, really cool. And of course, again, that fence. And I believe the clouds were from, oh boy, one of the lighthouse, or no, not the lighthouse, one of those stamps that are in the annual catalog. And here is, of course, the craft paper. And again, here is the detail. So you can see that many of these are stamped and then die cut out, but a lot of these other ones you can cut out yourself. So this one I wanted to stick with the gingerbread theme. And these adorable little gingerbread men are from my other favorite, the handmade wishes. And I love this one because you can say handmade or baked. And of course, adore that gingerbread man. So we're going to look at a few others, but I'm going to show you, we did a simplified version of the recipe book. And oh my goodness, Carol and I, we had such a blast because we wanted to make this book again, both doing it for our family members. And Carol had a fantastic idea that kind of just springboarded more ideas, and woohoo, we were having lots of fun. So this one I decided to make as my cover. And then Carol thought, boy, it would be nice to have a pocket to put the recipe in, because when you pull out the recipe card, then the recipe card would be the only thing that gets dirty and not your beautiful book. And I thought that was a fantastic idea. So what she decided is, if you use the big, I believe it's 4x6 index cards, they will fit. I'm going to show you. Here's a recipe. Here's a recipe card, and they will fit right inside like that. And this way you can take out your recipe book. So this one was a photocopy, and I'm going to actually glue it onto the paper or the index card. And then that way it's more firm than just a photocopied paper. But look at that. Isn't that ever amazing? And so we decided we would put this, and I'm going to show you how we can put this little pocket on so that you can stick your recipe in. And I decided, well, I've got to decorate the edge. So then I took my cute little gingerbread again, and you see how there's two different hearts that are in here. So I used those adorable little hearts with the gingerbread man to kind of make a background. And Carol had another fantastic idea, because she's making it for family members, is she wants to use photos of her kids baking. And of course, I thought that was a fantastic idea. So that's why at this point I have left the top blank, because I want to find the pictures, and I could add some die cuts and do a little bit of stamping, like with the gingerbread men or different things, but I want to get my photos first and put them on. So I'm just going to show you how I did that. So I'm going to find all my goodies here. So this time I am not going to use the actual designer paper, because you saw that I had used the designer paper here for this. Now, it is definitely easy to do because it's not cardstock, but it doesn't mean you can't do cardstock, because I wanted to use blue. Well, without it being Christmas, there weren't too many other options. And I have this beautiful vellum snowflake paper. And yes, I know it's not available anymore because it's sold out. But I do know many, many of you ladies have this paper already. So what I decided to do is I would put the blue underneath it, and then that way it still has the blue look, but then it looks like snowflakes. So how we want to do this is the size is 3¼ going this way, and then it is, oh boy, and I forgot. Let's just measure it just to make sure. Let's get this correct. And you do have to pull out your arm because it won't be big enough. I believe it's 7. Yes, that's right. And then what you want to do is just go up this way a little bit to 1/4 inch and just score each side. You see the score line there? And then that way we can fold it over. But before you fold it over, what you want to do, and I like to use my silicone mat in the back of it, is use your tear and tape. Tear and tape is definitely one of the stronger adhesives. And this way you can just tear off the piece that you need. And what I found to be the most effective, because it's not exactly, it's a teeny bit longer. So what I do is I actually take it and I match it exactly to the edge. And I know that means there's going to be a little bit of sticky on the front, but I'll show you how to deal with that. But the reason why I did not put it so that it goes in the back is because I don't want it sticking onto my recipe card. So I'll show you how to solve that problem. But first we're going to do, so you can see here, it's on that side. And then we're going to put a strip. And again, we're going to match this tear and tape to the edge here. It doesn't matter if you don't go all the way. That's okay. So now we have the 2 on each side. Now you're going to flip it over, and then we're going to put a piece on the long side. So, oh, I hear sirens again. We've been hearing so many sirens. Okay, now this one won't really matter, but I don't want it sticking out on this one. So we're going to go like this, press it down, and now we can peel off these pieces. So we're going to peel off this one and peel off this one. Okay, now I'm going to show you. You can see how, well, maybe not on the video. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but you'll see a little bit. And what you do is just fold it over like that. And then that way it will be on the sticky side. Yeah, there we go. Okay, come on. Put that in there. And again, now we're going to just pull it. And you can see how it kind of, I hope you can see how it kind of folds over a little bit. And then that way it's only going to stick where we want it there. So now I'm going to grab, oh, wrong. I've got 2 for my 2 sons. So I've got 2 gingerbread books on the go here, which is the side. I've got to think which way I'm doing this. So this is where it's going to go. However, I want to make kind of a border around here. So in order to do that, as you can see, oh, again, this book, getting my books mixed up, how I did some stamping. So what I'm going to do in this case, I'm going to take my Starry Sky, because that is the ink that I am using with matching the cardstock. And I'm trying to find, I had, where was it? Oh, I know, it was in the Christmas Scotty. They have some nice little snowflakes. And so we're going to take that block and I'm going to, oops. Oh, that one's not very clean. Let's try this one. Okay. And you could stamp on directly, but I kind of think that's going to, well, maybe even doing a little combination of both, but I'm going to try stamping off. Yeah, I think that might be better. Let's try it. So this is another thing that I also discovered, and maybe I have to slide her over, is that if you are doing it with it bound already, you're going to have to put your book on the side here so that it sits more flat, because you don't want it getting lumpy and then it's not going to cover. I'm kind of thinking that I may do a little bit of both. So you don't want your snowflakes to be too low, but I just kind of, and it doesn't matter if they go off a bit, that is perfectly fine. And I would stagger them. So don't put them exactly in the same spots. Yeah, I think I like the two-tone. What do you guys think? You like that two-tone? I think I need to go this way. Maybe just do one there. And that's why you need a paper on the back of this, because if you overlap it, then it doesn't matter. It's just going on your paper. So again, go this way. Now we're getting close to this edge again. You love the two-tone as well? Yes, I think I do. I think that's my preference. Okay, so see, now I could stamp. Can you see it? Oh, not quite. You can see how that stamped without interfering there. So let's try this one. Yep. But if I did it like this right on the paper, it's only going to partially stamp there. So let's see. Again, oops, don't re-ink it yet. We got another one. So I'm going to turn it around. Re-ink. And we're just going to make a border. So we're just going to go all the way around. Now I think we're going to be okay to go this way. Oops, I haven't been flipping it. Let's try there. Okay. Oh boy, it's going to be a little bit off, but that's okay. That's okay. It just is a little bit more, whoopsie, a little bit more of the lighter blue in this corner, but that's okay. So there we have the beautiful snowflakes. Okay. Now we can move on with our recipe card. And so now you can see we have a beautiful background, and you won't see inside it because the recipe and the recipe card is going to be inside. Now I have it already scored, so it's kind of sitting there without sticking to anything. Just kind of make sure that you get your edges all kind of centered. I think that's pretty close. If you want it exact, you can measure it. And I like to just put it down a little bit on the bottom, and then I can go on the sides. So just like that. So then I have this ready to put in. But like I mentioned, we're going to put this on the front. Do you think we should? Or do you think, you know what? I kind of like it blue. What do you guys think? I'm kind of thinking that maybe the blue looks okay. It's okay to change our mind mid-crafting, isn't it? I think so. You know what? I think I'm going to do that, because I'm going to show you what I was thinking of doing on the top. The top, I was, of course, going to put some pictures, and I was thinking, do I put this? The blue is good. Yes, I agree. Now that we put this here all the way around, it looks okay. So you could use this beautiful frame, and I should say this frame. Where is it? The Snowman Magic. And it has this beautiful die. I love, of course, the scene building that you can do with this stamp set, but I love this frame. And so this is where you know, I'm sorry, for me, my ideas just don't stop. They keep coming. You could use this as a picture frame, and you could put your picture in here. Maybe a few snowflakes. Yes, that's a good idea. We could put a few on there. That's a great idea. Yes, just to break away. I mean, there's so many things. You could put the snowman, but yeah, let's stick with some snowflakes. But I'm giving you ideas that you could put that as a picture frame. But yes, where did I put that stamp? I put it so that I would not get it into anything. And we can use the same color. So we can use Starry Sky just on, and that's just scatter. Now we need an odd number. So let's try going that way. I don't think I want more than that. There we go. All right. So you could see how that would be really beautiful if you did something like that. Now, I'm going to show you another version, and I'm going to skip a few pages because I don't want every page blue. So I'm going to skip over because I've still got more pages to do, but I also got some more to show you. Okay, so here is where I'm going to put the photo again. But this time I thought it would be nice to use this as my decoration. So again, this frame has more snowflakes on one side than the other. So that's where you will need to kind of decide which way you want to do it. But I was thinking of putting a gingerbread house in the inside. So the key is to measure this. So if I also use the fence, which I think I'm going to put the fence on first. I think I'm going to do that. So there's several things that you could do. You could put these pieces through the adhesive sheets, and then that way that you would have stickers. Or you could also put it onto your silicone mat. And do I have my sponge handy? I don't have my sponge handy. But you could put it here and then use your sponge and then sponge on. Just make sure you're doing it on your silicone mat, because then you can lift it and move it somewhere else and then move your silicone mat and it won't be on your paper getting all dirty. But I'm just going to do my quick little speed gluing. So I don't put blobs of glue. I just put little tiny amounts that I'm squeezing to get out. And we're going to need for the full page. So I should say this cardstock is actually a full page of cardstock that's cut in half. And then I use the binding to put it all together. So there we go. Okay. Now I have a little bit too much glue on one side. And do you know that this is another way you can use your silicone mat, is you can press it down into the glue or onto the silicone mat, and it will leave some of that excess glue. And then that way you don't have loads onto your die. So let's see, we move this in here again. And I'm going to want to leave a little bit of a border here, not too much. So I'm going to put that down like this. Is that straight? I think that's pretty straight. We're going to go down. Now you can see one is too little, so we need to have another. And oh, this one I must have done on the edge, but actually it's perfectly fine, because that's actually what you need to do is that last post. Don't cut it in the middle. Make sure you cut it just right at that post and just snip off that piece. And the reason for that is then you're going to be able to do a seamless connection with the fence. And so here we can, you don't have to do it exactly, but we can trim the other bit off at the end. Oh, yes. Okay, I saved it. So now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put some glue on here. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to do the gingerbread house. So again, just dab this into my mat. Okay. So this is the secret with this piece, is just making sure that you got that piece cut off. Make sure it's straight. Okay, and now I see that there's still a little bit on the edge, but then just use your paper, the edge of paper as your guide, and just snip off that last little bit. And that way you won't have any um, edges or making it too short, which would not be good. So here we have now our frame. So what we could do, and I'm thinking I'm going to put it actually here because I have something I want to stamp there. So let's see, about right there. So I'm thinking about here. So now, where is my starry sky? And I think I might, so I'm thinking, you know, kind of just about that distance. This is a solid stamp, so you can see that it doesn't have any other decorations or anything, that it just does the whole image of the gingerbread house. So I think, let's just have this a look here. This is what it would look like if I do full image. I think that is okay because it's not super dark. I think we're okay. So what we want to do is just really ink this up well. And always turn your stamp over and make sure something right there. There we go. Because then you'll be able to see if there's any spot on your stamp that is not inked. And you go, oh my, you're going to do it right onto your page. Yes, I am. But in a worst case scenario, if I did goof and I didn't get this in the right spot, you know, the reality is you could always cut it out and or stamp and cut it out and put it onto that spot. So there's always a backup plan. So press down hard and then lift. Oh, that went clearer even than that. Look at that. Okay, so now we're going to put that over there. Pull out. And actually, no, I'm going to keep this out because we need to do some more stamping. So here we have this decoration. Now, this is the die cut. So we could choose to use this or this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually stamp it, because then we can compare and we can decide if we want to just put the paper on top. Again, the camera's kind of in my face, but we're going to try that. Okay. Now, just wait. This is really cool. They have two pieces for windows. And this looks kind of strange, but this is what outlines the doors and the windows. So you just ink it up and go over. Again, I'm not looking right above it. But there you can see, let's hope you can see. Can you see how that outlines the door? You can see on this one how nicely it does that. Okay, so now we want to take a different color. And you know what? I think I'm going to go with yellow. So let me grab a little one here with yellow. Look at this stamp. They have joined it, which means you don't have to stamp one and then the other. It is perfectly lined up and ready to put onto your stamp. I tell you, somebody was really thinking when they created this stamp set. I love it. So we're going to make it look like the lights are on in the house. Oh, let's make sure we don't get it upside down. The curve goes on the top. And again, camera's kind of in my way, but we're going to try it. We're going to go down. And voila, there is the windows. Now, what do you think we should do for the door? Any ideas, ladies, as to what we think we should do for the door? Should we go with red? I think this house might need a little bit of red. Let's try. Here's the door, and look at the, oh, maybe you can't see it. There's a cute little heart. It is so adorable. So let's just make sure that it is well inked up. Yep, that looks pretty good. Okay. Now we go down. Look at that cute little heart. Okay. Now, let's see if you want this detail. This is another option that you can do. And I think we're going to actually do that in, let's try this. Oops. Oh, let's not get ink where we don't want it. Okay. I'm doing a royal job to that tonight. Okay. This is so fancy, the little swirls. Oh boy. Look at this. Ta-da! Can you see it? Isn't that ever cute? Okay, so now we are going to do what? We are going to see what we need. Oh, I know what we were going to see. Whether or not we want to put this on. And you know, I think it's going to blend too much on the white. What do you think, ladies? Think we should have the white on there? Or should we keep it blue? I kind of like the white, actually, but I don't know. Maybe it hides. So I need your opinion on that, as well as I would like your help in knowing whether we should put a square or, let me see, where do we? Can't find the right stamp set, because what I thought would be nice is this Made with Love, because you leave it blue. Yeah, I think it fades too much, doesn't it? So I thought this would be really cute to have here, Made with Love, because we're making recipe books. But anyway, that's how you can see how easy it is to be able to build whatever kind of house you're wanting. So should we do oval or should we do square? I'm going to put this on a block while I wait for you. White? Oh no, somebody says white. Uh-oh. Oh dear. Well, let's have another look. Let's have a look. Yeah, it kind of fades in there, but up close you can see the texture. Well, no, you can see a bit of the, oh boy. Okay, I need somebody to help us. White and white. That means 2 for white. Okay. We got 2 votes for white and 1 with blue. We're going with the general vote. So here we go. We're going to put some glue on here. And I'm just going to, again, put that on there. And put this on our house. Okay. And now I'm going to put some glue. So tell me which one you think. With Made with Love, should we use the oval or the square? While I get some glue on this one here. I like having your help. Lately, I've been a little overwhelmed, and it's hard to make choices and all these decisions. Okay. Whoops. Yep. Okay, so am I on screen? Yep. Probably can't see what I'm doing. So I'm just getting a little bit on the snowflakes. That's the tricky part. And mostly on the edges, where not so much on the inside, because it will stay down this way anyway. So now we're going to go all the way around. There we go. Square, 2 squares. Okay. Yes, because this is a rectangle, so that's kind of what I was thinking. So I think we're going to go like right there. It's kind of centered. So we got this cute little house here now. Okay, so now let's going to move this here for a minute while we do the square. And my ink again. I'm in a blue mood, obviously. And I don't know if I've even used this one yet. So especially in U-Stamp, you really want to make sure that you ink it up. because sometimes when it comes from the warehouse, it's needing a little bit of, I'm just going to kind of mush it on there. That's looking a little better. Maybe I'm going to need to have this. Let's try it. 2 squares. Okay, we're still at square. Oh boy, now I can't see what I'm doing. So one advantage over an oval, with an oval, I should say, because then it's a lot easier to line up. All right, let's give it a, oh, look at that. That turned out nice. Made with love. Yes, I love making cookies and sharing cookies with others, especially making it with my kids. It's always been a favorite activity. Oh, and now I was going to put some glue around it. So you could use your brush, or let's see what it would look like. Or another thing that I will do is I will take my paper and I will just, you don't jab it because you don't want to put holes in your ink pad, but sometimes I'll just go like that. And let's see if that's enough. I'm not going to put it directly onto my book quite yet because it might be, does it have enough of a blue? Maybe a little bit more blue on the top. So you could use your sponge dauber and you could go around the edges, but I think I'm just going to want a fine layer of blue. And then we can, and you could also double mat it too. That's another thing you could do. But I think in this case, I'm going to do it now. You're noticing I'm not using any dimensionals, and I'm not using any dimensionals for a reason. And that is because it's a recipe book. I don't want any height. So I want everything to be glued so that I can have a book that is going to lie flat. So now we're going to take the glue and we're going to put this down, made with love. And we're going to put that right in the middle. And then the other thing that comes with this is the heart stamp and dies. So I think in this case, we've got to put that there. And I'm wondering, oh, it's got a, here, let's try another one. Somehow it has a wet spot on it. Okay. I don't know. Do you think we should put a heart there? I think we should put it on the house. Okay, another thing you can help me with in deciding while I get this on, and then we're going to look at some other of my pages, because you want to see what else I did in this recipe book. Think that's okay to put the heart there? Maybe on this side. Nobody telling me? Okay. Well, I'm going to do it because I got an extra one. And I know it's not 3, but the door is red. So in a sense, we have three red. So let's try that. Okay. So here we have it a little different. So in this case, I just realized I should have done that on the top. That's okay, because then we want to put our recipe on the top. Okay, I'm going to show you. I keep going back and forth because in this particular book, I made it so the recipes were all in the front. So now I have to shift and do the recipe on the bottom. So that's okay. You could do a little bit of both. So I think I showed you this one. And then the only other one I didn't show you is my candy houses and my candy path. Oh, Yvonne says only on that. Uh-oh. Let's see if I can take it off. So you can see here how you can use the multiple colors and how you can see how that highlights really nicely with those outlines. And then we have this one again with using the wreath. And the cloud can be used, of course, as your sentiments as well. And there's more of the hills. And then I made a little banner with the candy. So Yvonne thinks I should take that off. I wonder if I can now, Yvonne. Let's try it. Oh, nope. It's going to leave a spot. Okay, it's down. It's down. Okay, so I showed you the gingerbread, and here is another one using Painted Christmas, I believe. Was it Painted Christmas? No, Boughs of Holly paper. And I took the tree that is in, nope, that wasn't it. There's too many trees. This one, of course, the sweet gingerbread, here is the tree. And I use mossy meadow, evening evergreen, and soft succulent to make the 3 different colors. And some I put groupings of 2 and some I put groupings of 3, just to kind of match this with the colors. And then I felt it was too white in between. So I actually took the spatter, and I believe that was from Quiet Meadow, the meadow flowers, that big splatter. And I just kind of put that around. And I think that turned out pretty good by doing it that way. So again, here goes your recipe. And then I decided to do a poinsettia page. And so here again is where the recipe can go inside. And these poinsettias are from Rings of Nature. And then look at this. I decided to use the cute little Scotty dogs. And actually, it's kind of funny because I was stamping my dogs that at first I thought I was going to punch them out. And I was just going all the way around the edge of the paper. And Carol says, what? What? You look at that. That's perfect. So actually, that's what I did, is actually make it into the page so that I can put the photo this time in the inside. And what are you putting on the top pages? Okay, in this particular one, I reversed it and I have the recipe card up here. And you can see how I used the ribbon to go, and this is all in the Christmas Scotty dog. So here's the Christmas Scotty dog. Photos of what? Photos of my children making, or now adult Freddie, to have pictures of him when he is making his gingerbread houses or helping me do Christmas baking. So you can see here, the present is again in the Scotty. So here is the different colors. You can stamp the present. And yes, then, we got to go back here. Of course, this is the one. So yes, so here we've left the top page. So this is where I'm going to put some photos of my kids when they were helping me bake, or just related to the Christmas fun with recipes. And of course, like I said, for us, making gingerbread houses is one of the favorite traditions that we love to do. So yes, on the top is where I'm going to have, in this case, a pocket, and I will then have the recipe going in there. So did I catch them all? These are all my pages so far. And now I can finish my gingerbread or my recipe book. Yes, all the favorite Christmas recipes. You're right. And that, what a wonderful keepsake it is, because you've put lots of love into it, and it is a memory of all your family recipes, and of course, memories for them of their photos at different times when they were growing up, and just all the beautiful memories around Christmas and time with family. So this is what I've had a lot of fun with, and hope you enjoyed that. And yes, so personal, I know. And that's the best gifts, isn't it, when you can make it personal like that? For sure. And that's why my books won't be the same for my 3 boys either. They'll be all different. And I know that it was definitely the favorite gift last year. So I'm only had 10 recipes. So now I'm going to give them 10 more recipes of our favorite Christmas recipes. And it doesn't have to be just baking, it can be the Christmas dinner as well. So thank you, ladies. I hope you enjoyed that and got some good ideas and inspiration. And thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.